welcome to Adults Say the Wildest Things. We got another great show for y'all today. I got a question for you, for everybody tonight. Do you guys think that dating is dumb? And what I mean by that is there any point to dating these days? I think that when girls go around dating man and man dating, they end up getting more jaded, more hatred towards guys because they picked the wrong guy. So do you think that it's necessary to date, or should you just stick with one guy and just try to make it work? Like, what do y'all think?
That's actually crazy. I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Personally, I think dating nowadays, how it is today, is like practice for divorce. Because you date somebody, you like share each other as you would in a marriage. You tell each other secrets, you get deep, some people live together, all this, all that. But as soon as you find something that you don't like, it's like a big red eject button and you can just leave.
Yeah.
You can just be out and cut. And so then when you do find that person and you're in a marriage and then something comes up that you don't like, you have that mindset of like, oh, okay, I can leave, instead of like sticking and working and trying to make it work. So I think nowadays the way it's set up is, dumb.
So it's like harder for someone to pair bond with somebody because they're...
And like sometimes people just date because they're bored.
Yeah.
And they get comfortable in that relationship, so they just stick with it until they feel like somebody else can make them leave.
Yeah.
With that question, though, do you blame yourself or do you blame the other person because it didn't work out? In those kind of situations. If you get bored and you decide to date, is the other person's fault that it didn't work out?
Or would you blame yourself?
Or would you blame yourself to what the situation is?
I guess yourself, yeah.
But you think most people do? You think most people do?
They find excuses. They'll find things to like pin on the other person or like, to make themselves feel better, I think. To justify why they just like up and left.
Yeah. And I think people lack accountability, so they're gonna blame the other person, and then... So the boredom thing then is like, I guess, why don't you just hook up with random people instead of just dating?
Yeah, but some people hate like being single and they actually like being in a relationship. Some people crave being in a relationship, so...
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people don't know what they want. I think people should use dating as just an experience. And if you do end up meeting the guy that person as you date, then you keep it. But I don't think it should be labeled right away like this got to be the person or what it is, because usually that doesn't work out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
that makes sense. All right, so I have another question here. This is for the ladies. Would you guys accept your man watching porn? Do you think that's acceptable?
I think it's okay. I don't.
Absolutely.
Honestly, like if you watch it together, that's cute.
So I'm curious, is that just a generational thing? Like,
oh, for sure, probably.
I guess it depends on the person too, because some people hate it. Some people have like love languages, not love languages, but like things that you can tolerate in a relationship, things they can't. But like for me, I don't really mind. Not like all the time, not like girl obsessed with it.
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like there is a line though. Like I feel if you're watching it together, it's like a couple thing you do, whatever. Like that's cool. But then if he just starts watching it on his own all the time, then I feel like then it would get a little bit like, okay, like what's going on?
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, so I think it's different for men because we're visual, like we're more visual. Like so, porn's a little bit different for men than what it is. But I think if it gets to that case, then it's, as long as it's not affecting the bedroom, you know what I mean? If it's a point where you're watching it more, but you're not being intimate with your partner, then I guess that could be a problem. That is where the problem is. But if you're watching, have a habit, and you're still at this point, you can't run from it. Everywhere you see it, it's everything sexualized, right? So it's not something to a point where, well, you're intimidated by watching porn, where you can turn on the TV and ass is shaking everywhere. So it's like you can't run from it. So at this point, you know what I mean? It's just as long as it's not affecting the relationship, I guess at this point, you can't really say much.
When's the cut? Like, what's the cutoff? Like, how much is too much?
If it messes with the relationship.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like that, or if it's like.
The thing with porn, you're never gonna know though. Like, especially if you actually know, that means that means he's actually watching it in front of you. He's doing things that's getting out of character. But if he's in his personal, you're never gonna.
I guess you.
A person's phone is like
when you guys are having an intimate moment, right? And he's like acting different, where like he's bringing what he watches, the videos, to your sex life.
Yeah, that's.
It could be like an educational thing. Maybe
In
he's trying to
some
get
ways,
better.
But if he like does it in an aggressive way, what he sees and what he likes on that, and he's trying to do that on you, then it's a problem.
That's when you have that,
Yeah, I think that's when it just, whenever it interferes with the relationship. Like
Yeah.
if a girl's not with
It
those
affects
the
it.
experiences, you have to speak, you have to communicate what your experiences is.
Yeah.
And then again, if your girl's not has a high sex drive, and a man has a high sex drive,
No, for real.
yo, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't care how, I don't care
For
what
real.
I don't care how or because when you do it twice and you think you've done accomplished something, the girl's like, oh, I'm done for the week. He's like, yo, what do we do? Where's the next girl? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
you got to have the same sex drive because those things kind of work. If you have low and high,
Yeah.
usually it doesn't work.
And then compromise too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think when does it become acceptable though? Because would you guys say your parents would accept?
Different time, internet. It's different times though.
True.
Like,
I think it's the music.
if you,
The songs WAP and like, you know.
I think here's the
twerk.
thing though. You gotta understand it right now. If you have a kid, if there's a kid that's 13 in the teens, you cannot see he hasn't seen a dick or some type of vagina.
Yeah.
At this point, what are we talking about here? Like it's on their phone every single time, and we never had growing up. I don't know how far back, but the internet wasn't so popularized to a point where even if you wanted the internet, it can mess up your phone if you try to get porn like back, you know, those type of things. So now it's accessible. There's no stopping
True.
it, bro. Like you just said, WAP. Like you seen what they done on the Grammys or whatever they were going crazy on us. Like you can't run from that, bro. So you're gonna see it every time.
it's society now.
Yeah. So it's more acceptable. I think sex is more acceptable, and they're teaching it to kids. So
We're definitely living in like a high sex culture, I think. Like, it's praised and whatnot.
Personally for you, I'll start with Abby actually. Personally for you guys, why do you guys accept it? Like, why is it acceptable? Why are you okay with your guy watching porn? Is it because you think he's gonna use what he learned on you?
No, it's not that. I feel like, I don't know. Honestly, it depends on what you're both comfortable with. Like, I feel like if he watches it without you, it's a problem to the girl. But I feel like if you're watching it together and like you're both doing it together, it means something more. I don't know how to explain it.
My question is why personally for you why are you comfortable with it?
uncomfortable.
Cause I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I'm okay with it, but I don't know why I'm okay with it. Cause some people, it depends on the person. Some people like get mad or like they feel like the guy's cheating on them, but not like physically. But with me, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I just
Why are you
Cause
okay
he's doing
with
it with me, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. Like, I watch it, so why wouldn't I let him? Type
Okay,
thing.
that's fair.
Let's just be honest. But also, yeah, like if it's something like I'm super busy or we're both super busy and you can't get around to it, then I mean you gotta let that off somewhere. And I'd rather that than you go out and cheat. So it'd be cool.
I was honestly, guys, it's just communication. Really.
Yeah.
Sex. When you're dealing with sex and you're dealing with a partner, if you can't be honest with that person, then the mind goes different ways. You know what I mean? Like especially for dudes, bro. If a girl ever thinks that she's having sex enough, times it by 10, because you're not. Like whatever in your mindset to a dude, literally, unless you bang him out to a point where he's sleeping, he's unconscious, he'll wake up 15 to 20 minutes, a half an hour later, and say, "Yo, let's do this again."
So then
Like,
what are
it's
the
really-
odds? Like, would you say that there's ever a time where it's the roles reversed?
I can't say at this day and age it could happen, but I'm saying I haven't met it. You know what I mean? I ain't met too many dudes. Like if a dude is getting a lot of sex at home, you probably have the happiest home in the world.
Okay.
Let me flip it real quick though. Would you be okay if your wife watches a lot of porn, or you wouldn't?
Yeah, at this point, like I said, I can't. What are you supposed to do? Like you have to expect it. Like to be naive and sit down there and say, okay, you can't. What would I be jealous for? At this
Okay,
point, I'm in the
that's
house.
fair, that's
You know what I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But if you ever want sex, bro, just tap the shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I mean? Like, like for us, it's like it seems like we're annoying the female at times. Like this is what you guys want, intimacy. You guys want to be you guys want to be together by every time. We want sex all the time. Y'all just want to be hugged, touched sometimes. You guys, there's more to you guys than just sex, and a lot to us is sex. So if you can meet and compromise halfway, it works.
Some girls like that out there too, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. Like that's what I'm saying. You got to find your match.
Yeah.
It just, what I mean, some people have a high sex drive and a low sex drive. If you're a girl and you have a low sex drive, your house is probably going to be a little difficult. You know what I mean? No disrespect. It's just really what it comes down to. It's really going to be what it is.
That's true. I think for me, I would have an issue with it if it was excessive. Like if she was watching a lot of porn, then I would kind of be concerned. It might be insecurity, I don't know, but I would be concerned if I'm not performing.
enough?
Yeah, and then I would ask her, if there's anything I need to do.
Quick question. Do you guys want to know? Like I personally don't want to know.
If you're
I don't
good
want to.
enough-
I don't want to know the consumption of what you're watching, what type you watch. I really don't want to know none of that.
That's true. That's your business.
Yeah, that's your personal time.
the-
I'm
the-
allow you to do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
But I
feel
don't
like,
want.
yeah.
I don't know that.
Because they could have fetishes. Like,
Fetish.
Yeah, but I'm saying my thing about it is if you got something, tell me, cause I'm probably about it. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you get too far, I got
That's what you wanna
pineapples
do?
where pineapples where I say hey, pineapples. Hey, you know what I mean? But for the most part, like you want to try?
Yeah.
Let's get it popping. Like why
Yeah.
be shy about that? You know what I mean? Like what's your thing?
I would want to know if I'm good enough. Like, I think I'd feel some type of way if she's telling me I'm faking it. I mean,
I'm saying it
Or
sucks
she's
for you though.
faking it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying like, as a girl though. Quick question. Let's transition. To that.
Yeah, go ahead.
The whole faking of the orgasm. What's the point?
I faked it before.
What's the point though?
I feel like just to make the other person feel better about himself, like not to like
Yo, that's too much thinking. Like, yo, if you're not about trying to get yours off and how to participate in the cultural situation, then yo, that's on you, bro.
But
Like,
some men, they just care about themselves. As long as they come, they're done.
nah, that's a no go.
I agree with that.
That's a no go.
The reason why I have faked it because I wanted it to be done.
Over with.
Yeah, I want it to be over with.
Yeah, that plays
That's
me
so
too.
Yeah, so it's like if she's like, oh, let's keep going with everything that, I'm like, oh, sorry, my bad, I already came with it. I'm just saying that so I can get out because I'm, you know.
I'm keeping it a buck.
You won't feel
I'm
in
keeping
or
it a
what
buck,
happened?
yo. I'm done, bro. Like, yeah, we're done. Like, what do you want me to do? If it's bullshit, it's bullshit. Like, you know what I mean?
Especially if the,
I respect that.
Yeah, I gotta go. Like,
especially if they don't, the hygiene is not
see that
There,
right there?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's my pet peeve. Oh, that's the pet peeve.
if the hygiene.
Oh, that's the pet
I was
peeve
out.
right there.
Yo, I
I'm
got a
done.
kid at home. I gotta
Yeah,
go.
listen, straight up, man. Like, gotta go, man.
Yeah,
like, under
so-
no
I have a
circumstances
funny
can you do
story
that.
on that,
Yeah,
actually.
go
So do I, but I can't tell on camera.
Yeah.
No, it's not me. It's like my brother. Okay, no, not my brother. But
Okay, someone. Okay, anonymous person.
yeah, he told me he went out to a party, right? And he took a girl home. And when she opened her legs and that, he smelt it. He was like, oh, I'm coming. I'm going to the toilet. He took his shoes and he left.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
He said he wasn't about to.
What did she say?
yeah.
Like she,
That's about
He
right.
doesn't know what she said because it was like a one night thing, but like he didn't meet her after.
If it is a one night thing, then why do you even care about hurting their feelings and whatnot?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you may as well.
I did you a favor. Like, if I was the person, I'll do the same thing, bro. But I would actually be honest.
Be honest,
I
because
would
then
like-
they know. Because some people might just not know.
I'd be like, nah, I can't do that, bro.
So-
It's crazy to me how people don't smell themselves.
yeah, that's true.
You just used to
I think people get immune to their own scent.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's true
I
too,
think
yeah.
that's how I think people do get immune to
So
their
let
own
me
scent.
ask you guys this, because you brought up that if you're just a one night stand, who cares about hurting their feelings? So I'm gonna ask you this: have you guys ever midway through sex just told them to stop because it was either bad or they smelled?
Oh, whatever reasons the situation just had to stop because it just
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah?
Stop.
Like you just said, like it's terrible. Like you never told them that, but you.
I don't know if I was like 100% honest with them. Because like you said, it was like a one-time thing. But I've definitely been like, oh yeah, like
That's it. Yeah.
we're done type thing. I've actually had to like push a guy off one time because I was like, yo, not for it.
Jeez, yeah. That's,
I guess if it's not feeling it. Because sometimes I'm not sure with everybody, but like with me, if I don't have feelings for you or like see you like as a type, my type, it's just like ew, you know? It's like get off me. But
How do you get
but
to that
yeah,
point?
how do you get to that
how do
point?
you get to that point?
I was just
It's like,
thinking the same thing.
like,
if you're friends and you just want to like you both kind of like each other, but not really, to see where things go, but like it just doesn't end up.
that's
working.
the type of sex thing because you can't. If you're type of friends, then you can't love make. That's just a smash. There's two different type of sex. If you're
Yeah,
just
I
gonna be
just
one of those
realized that
situations.
after that, I realized that I don't like just having it with anybody.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
So then would you say that like sex is love?
No,
No.
Really?
that's
No, not at all.
That's not where it's at.
furthest the
Really?
furthest thing from it. Kissing is more intimate than sex to me.
True.
And it's depending how you define love, because I define love as an action. Most people define it as an emotion.
Yeah.
So,
That's a whole nother debate.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just like so
Okay.
it's internally. I always say like that internal stuff when it's a little different than dudes, man. It's like we can lock out, we can have sex and not even think about it.
Damn, that's
You
crazy
know what I mean?
to me.
It's like
I think that's that difference in gender though.
yeah, it is. It's like literally
Females,
we
It's like
could.
how?
They're just wired that
like,
way
yeah.
where they just get those.
You don't got a dick. It's unfortunate. It has a mind of its own, man. Like every dude can understand the situation. It's like it has a mind of its
In
own.
and out.
yeah. So
After you nut, it's different.
Okay, so I'm
That's
gonna.
actually crazy though.
It really
Sorry.
is.
No, go
I
ahead.
feel like I've definitely been like, you know, when a guy's like trying to get to that, like he's nice, he'll be smooth, talk you, do what you want, and then as soon as it's out, it's like he's out.
Bye.
Yeah, like that.
That's crazy.
The post note's real.
Why is that?
I can
Biology?
definitely.
Yeah.
I can explain that. And here's,
Yeah, please do.
I can explain that. If a guy is messing with a chick and he either ghosts or leaves, it's because that girl is not bringing value to him in to his perspective.
Not
To
always.
some degree, and O can agree with me on this one. If the girl is the best in bed, he's gonna find a reason to stay. He even put up with her keying his car, all of that, because man, this girl is putting it down. Or she, does his dishes, does his laundry. She provides some value to some degree.
Some type of nurture.
Yeah, especially if he can see her like, if we have a oops and she has my child, at least I know she'll be a good mom.
Right.
So if a guy sees that, she's just a jump off, or he sees red flags, but maybe her car is messy or her room is messy, and he's like, man, I don't know if she'll be a good mother because she's not clean on her own. So I don't know if she'll be able to take care of my kid or stuff like that. And we think that like subconsciously.
Really?
So we'll be like, you know what? I'm out.
Depends on the time. Like, it depends how long you've been with somebody. Like,
Can I ask something?
if you're with somebody for a long period of time, then those thoughts are real. Like when you're going through the steps, if you're just with somebody, we ain't thinking that type of relationship. We're thinking sex. Like, yes, the conversation every time we see you is sex. 9 times out of 10 in your early stage of relationships, if you're dating and you're going to meet, you're getting ready for that person to put on the best image of yourself. And then when everything lets off, that's when you start being comfortable, socks, and you just start being normal for what it is. But for that most part, you're going in there, it's to impress, it's to do, it's to do what you guys do.
You know how you said you find every way to stay if the sex is good and everything else is good? But no, I feel like in some cases, men, well, not everybody, but like, let's say if it's good, but the girl wants a relationship, you guys won't stay. You find you either ghost her, like, yeah, it was great and everything, but you're still gonna ghost her because she wants something you can't give her.
Not necessarily. Like I said, it depending on if she adds value, because especially if the guy is very attractive and he can get any girl, he's like, well, I can get it anywhere. I don't really have to stay here and put up with it. But if he's getting every girl, but for you in particular, you know how to work your tongue, you know how to do certain things, he's like, man, she's stalking me, but dang, I don't want to give this up.
So here's the thing, for the most part, so while you're thinking she wants a relationship, us is like, not necessarily stringing it along, but I think
So you just play her.
not necessarily. So this is what not even that. This is
Yeah.
what happens. The men lie to themselves just like how women do. That's our lying to ourselves. When we don't want to get into something, even though we know emotion is turning, that's sex. That's the post-nut thing we talk about. That will block any dude at any time and make a dude make a bad decision. It would have a dude travel from here to Regina in a heartbeat to go out there to just go get some ass to come back to the situation is. That's how powerful it is. The mentality, that's really what it is, you know what I mean?